The magical garden of Cinderella. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom, there lived a kind girl named Ella. Ella had a heart full of dreams and a love for gardening. Every day, she would tend to her little garden, which was filled with beautiful flowers and plants. However, Ella's stepmother and stepsister were not kind to her. They often made her do all the household chores and never allowed her to rest. One sunny morning, as Ella was watering her garden, she noticed a small withered plant in the corner. Its leaves were dropping and it looked very sad. Ella felt sorry for the little plant and decided to give it extra care. She watered it, gave it the best soil, and even sang song to it every day. As days passed, the little plant began to grow. One evening, as Ella was singing to the plant, a soft glow surrounded it. To Ella's amazement, the plant transformed into a magical fairy. The fairy had sparkling wings and a warm smile. "Thank you, dear Ella, for your kindness and care," said the fairy. "I am the fairy of the garden, and because of your pure heart, I will grant you one wish." Ella was surprised, but knew exactly what she wanted. "I wish to go to a royal ball and meet the prince," she said. Her eyes sparkled with hope. With a wave of her wand, the fairy of the garden transformed Ella's tattered clothes into the stunning gown of blue and silver. She even created a pair of glass slippers that shone like diamonds. Finally, she turned the pumpkin into the grand carriage and Nice into the horse to take Ella to the ball. "Remember, my dear," said the fairy, "the magic will only last until midnight. After that, everything will return normal." Ella thanked the fairy and hurried to the ball. When she arrived, everyone was mesmerized by her beauty and grace. The prince couldn't take his eyes off her, and they danced all night. Ella felt like she was living a dream. As the clock struck midnight, Ella remembered that fairy's warning. She quickly ran out of the palace, but in her haste, she left one of her glass slippers behind. The prince found the slippers and woke to find the beautiful girl who wore it. The next day, the prince searched for the kingdom, trying the slippers on every girl. When he arrived at Ella's house, her stepsisters eagerly tried to fit into the slippers, but it was no use. Finally, Ella shyly stepped towards. The slippers fit perfectly. The prince recognized Ella immediately and knew she was the one he had danced with. Overjoyed, he asked her to marry him, and Ella accepted. They were soon married and lived happily ever after. Ella's kindness brought her happiness and love, and she never forgot the magical garden and the fairy who had made her dreams come true.